we're getting warmed up for the NBA season here, and guess what? We got Kris Dunn on the Timberwolves here. We got to play this in NBA 2K14, and the reason why is because there's a mod. There's a guy that mods for NBA 2K14, and this guy gets roster updates out faster than anybody. So if you're looking for all the new rookies, get NBA 2K14. The other big bonus is you can actually play it on a laptop. So I'm playing this on like a medium range laptop. And NBA 2K14, that was the last game that was actually available on PS3, which basically has lower quality graphics and all that. But the bonus to that is that you can play on the PC. There's all kinds of mods for this too, getting it the nicer graphics and all that. So NBA 2K14, we got updated rosters. So this is awesome though. This guy updates this stuff all the time. But I want to talk about Kris Dunn because this dude, I'm excited for. I'm a Timberwolves fan, and I've been a Timberwolves fan because I grew up in Minnesota. I've been watching the Timberwolves, the whole KG era. That was the area. That was the era that I grew up in, and they've been coming around, but they've really needed a good point guard. And I was hoping that Tyus Jones would be their guy. He was a Minnesota boy, and it actually brought back Cole Aldrich. So I played against Cole Aldrich in seventh grade, and this dude was 6'8" in seventh grade. I'm not kidding you, 6'8" and solid muscle. I mean, this guy was not fun to play against. We got destroyed. I mean, it was bad. Yeah, I don't even want to think about that. It was a murder. But yeah, then that dude ended up becoming 7 feet tall, successful career down at Kansas, and now he's back with the Timberwolves. So we'll see how he does. He's a pretty good shot blocker, pretty athletic, probably got one of the ugliest free throws on NBA 2K. If you see this guy shoot free throws, you're going to laugh. But yeah, anyways, but they got this Kris Dunn guy. And so Tyus Jones, he was the Summer League MVP. And so it's really interesting because you got Ricky Rubio, Kris Dunn, and Tyus Jones at point guard. So you got three guys that are really, I mean, Ricky Rubio, he's been kind of like an almost all-star. He can't really shoot. Good defender, lots of flashy passes. He's a good player, but he can't shoot, and that's been the big problem with Ricky Rubio. And now you got Kris Dunn, who's a great defender. He's got super long arms. He's quick off the dribble. A lot of people have compared him to Russell Westbrook. And you got Tyus Jones, he's a really hard worker. He's like a little Energizer bunny, tons of energy, and he's really, really good at running an offense. And so what I'd love to see happen this year is Kris Dunn tearing it up and Tyus Jones tearing it up, and then the Timberwolves can trade Ricky Rubio and actually maybe get some talent down at the really that so they've got Karl Anthony Towns, which he could play power forward, center, whatever, but they really need another post player that doesn't suck. And what they see, it's kind of tricky because they've got Pekovic. He's not a great defender. He can't jump super high, so he's not really a long-term option. And they've got Giorgio Deng, who's been developing really, really well, but he's not quite, a starter type superstar. So I'd love to see the Timberwolves trading for somebody at power forward who's a little bit younger that can fit with their young team and could play alongside Karl Anthony Towns as a starter. And they got Jordan Hill, so we'll see how that goes as well. That's going to be interesting because he's still pretty young, so that might fill the role. We'll see how that works in that team. But yeah, it's going to be a really interesting year in Minnesota. I'm super, super excited. This Kris Dunn guy, I was waiting to see how he did in the summer league because I'm like, okay, he did well in college, and let's see how he does. Let's see how he does in the summer league. And this dude he tore it up, man. Like, he seriously tore it up in the summer league. So I was like, dude, if this guy tears it up in the summer league, it's gonna be a really good season. They'll probably even make the playoffs this year. And I think that's exactly what's gonna happen. There's a lot of the news outlets have been reading on this guy. They've basically put him in the preseason rankings for Rookie of the Year. They're putting him as a projected number 2 for Rookie of the Year voting. So they're thinking that Ben Simmons will probably be number 1. which, yeah, but Kris Dunn, they're already projecting he's going to be number two, and he could possibly be number one. He's kind of like, when Damian Lillard came in, nobody was expecting him to do what he did his rookie year, but then he came in and dropped like 20 points a game and tons of assists, just tore it up. And I could see Kris Dunn possibly having a season like that, but, he's probably. I'd be surprised if he wasn't at least, 10, 15 points a game. I'd be super, super surprised if that didn't at least happen this year. So we'll see how it goes. I'm excited. It's going to be a great year in Minnesota. This is going to be awesome. So hopefully 5 years from now, the Timberwolves can challenge the Warriors. Hopefully. We'll see how it goes. The Warriors, man, that's going to be an interesting situation. I got another video I'll come out with talking about the Warriors situation. I don't think they're going to be murdering. I think they're going to murder people in the regular season, but in the playoffs, I still think they're going to get to the championship, but it'll be interesting seeing how they play against the Cavaliers. I'll get into that in my other video, though, but oh man, Timberwolves, though. It's been a long time coming, though, because that Kevin Garnett trade happened when I was a kid where they decided they wanted to rebuild. They traded their best player away, and he had just been the MVP like a year or two before that or something like that. I mean, he had just been league MVP. And so that would be like the Cavaliers trading away LeBron James because they want to rebuild, or the Warriors deciding that, we want to trade Steph Curry because we want to rebuild. Or if the Thunder, when they had Kevin Durant, if they would have traded him because they wanted to rebuild. But KG wanted to stay in Minnesota, and the Timberwolves, their management decided they wanted to rebuild, so they traded him away. Terrible idea. Oh my gosh. Did you see that fall right there? Oh my gosh. Sean Livingston, you just got your ankles broke. Kris Dunn, though, he's actually pretty good on 2K here, so he's going to be a fun player to play with. You put him alongside Andrew Wiggins and Zach LaVine and Karl Anthony Towns. It's going to be fun. Look at this. He's just destroying. That's Sean Livingston right there. He's supposed to be a pretty good defender, but he's just getting destroyed. So, yeah, it'll be an interesting year in Minnesota. I'm excited. It's the first time I've actually been excited for the Timberwolves. I was never really excited like when they had Rubio and Kevin Love, because Kevin Love was a really, really good player for the Timberwolves, but he was playing with trash. Like, you looked at the rest of the team in terms of their production and their, relative scoring output compared to whoever they were guarding and stuff, and they were trash. Like, they were just really playing terrible. And, the Timberwolves somehow had like a 500 record, but that was because Kevin Love was as good as he was. But the rest of the team, their production was just absolutely terrible, and they couldn't put any good players around those guys, so I never got too excited. And Pekovic, he kind of came out and had, started putting up like 10 points a game and all that, but he was just kind of sloppy, and they never really got it together. They tried putting Kevin Martin in there, all that, but it just never really worked out. So I wasn't ever really excited about the Timberwolves, ever since KG left, but now this year, I'm actually excited. This year and next year, it's going to be really interesting. I'd love to see Kris Dunn have a great season. Love to see the Timberwolves make the playoffs this year. Even if it's just, AC, whatever, it'd be great to see them back in the playoffs. I think they got one of the longest playoff droughts right now in NBA basketball, so it would be great to see them back in the playoffs, back competing, at least getting to the playoffs. It'll probably be a while before they catch the Warriors, the Spurs, the rest of the Western Conference, because it's pretty competitive. But I would love to see them at least get back in the playoffs, because it's been a while. And I think they can do that, especially Tom Thibodeau. They brought him in. They were last in the NBA in defense, and Tom Thibodeau is a defensive mastermind. So Kris Dunn, he's a really good perimeter defender. He could be a lockdown defender in the NBA. So we'll see how he does. I think, you saw him during the preseason. He looked pretty good. He's got to get a little bit stronger, a little bit quicker. And he's got to work on his jump shot a little bit more. But I think it's going to be a really good year in Minnesota. So I'm excited. Pay attention to the Timberwolves. It's going to be fun this year. I'm going to be jumping up and down. It's going to be a fun year in Minnesota. So watch the Timberwolves. Kris Dunn, man. I'm excited. We love this kid. Super humble, super awesome guy. This is going to be a fun year.